Welcome to another episode of Worthy of Rescue. In these podcasts, I and my guest bring to you a voice of truth, a voice from the pages of the Bible with a word for today, a topic that will help you as you walk in today's world and unbind yourself from the shackles the enemy has put upon you. Today I want to read an excerpt out of the book Worthy of Rescue Pursued by God that I published earlier this year. I want to speak about birth stories. Why do we need to speak about this? In the deepest core of our beings, our hearts, our minds, will, and emotions, we consistently grapple with two fundamental questions of life. Who am I, and to whom do I belong? There are deceitful whispers from our circumstances, choices, and memories that try to convince us that we are isolated, worthless because of our past errors, and unworthy of any type of redemption. Voices that say, you are alone. Your bad choices and mistakes make you of no value. You have no essential benefit to the world and are not worthy of the cost to be rescued. Regardless of how damaged, wounded, or frightened we may feel or how broken we have become, God will shatter the lies propagated by these damaging and negative voices around us. God empathizes with us when we grieve over the choices we've made in life. He has never been disappointed in us, and through His perfect love for us, He has made a way of redemption. When the questions echoed by the voices of humanity since creation are finally answered, we can truly know who we are. I want to share this with you. Who are you? To whom do you belong? In Genesis 1:27, it says, "So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them." Armed with this knowledge, we understand to whom we belong. God, made in His unique image, distinct from everything on earth, everything below, everything in the universe, or in heaven, seen and unseen. We are armed with this awareness, and we can inquire into and comprehend God's plans for our life, His purposes destined for us. Let's look at birth stories. Birth stories unfold like so many other lives lived upon the earth. It was a late, dark, star-filled night when a woman was up reading because she had been experiencing back pain all night. Finally, when she could stand it no longer, she told the father, "This child is coming weeks early, but definitely tonight." It wasn't too long of a drive to the hospital, but the journey seemed to take an eternity as the woman was deep in the pains of labor. Arriving at the noisy hospital emergency room, it was full of people in the waiting room, with nurses and doctors moving about in triage examination rooms, with others being taken to the surgery or medical floors. But for this woman, she was wide-eyed and grimacing due to her extended large abdomen. She was escorted to the maternity ward. As she travels down the hallway in the wheelchair, she smells the disinfectant being used, mingled with the smells of sickness and the cries of those in need of medical attention. As she gets closer to the maternity ward, she hears the screams of the women in labor. Nurses are moving from room to room, and fathers or relatives are aiding these expectant mothers in the birth delivery. We know most of these mothers will bring forth living, breathing children into the world. Others will be going home with empty arms due to a miscarriage or stillbirth, or because they gave a child up for adoption. Usually with the parents, family, and extended friends, a child is brought into the world with all the hopes and dreams that could be wished upon a new infant, no matter where in the world the child is born. All cultures have words or prayers spoken over the newborn, traditions of specific celebrations and festivities as they welcome the child into the household, extended family, and into the community. In the book, we will look at the childhood of 4 different people, showing the reality of humankind's existence in a fallen world as it comes full force into each child's life. But let's talk about a possibility. As this baby begins to grow, The child is nurtured and cared for, fed and diapered, played with and encouraged to thrive and grow. It is clothed and put to sleep, awakening each day to an ever-expanding world. But one day, the evil that has been lurking around the child's family strikes a blow to its home. The young child comes face to face with wickedness. Gagged, hands and feet bound with ropes, as it is lifted and carried away. The dwelling where the child is taken is far from the safety of home, far from anything that is familiar, far from any nurturing voice, touch, or smile that it once knew. It is a chasm of darkness and hopelessness. The child is fed only enough to keep it alive, constantly kept in fear, doubting life, survival, or the possibility of ever being rescued. As the days pass into months and the months pass like vapor into years, malicious voices resound in the heart of the child, speaking nonstop of a reality that no more than a minimal existence can ever be expected. Hard labor in exchange for existence is demanded. Speed of obedience is required, and any defiance is punished. The child's self-identity, once known as a daughter or a son, slowly seeps away like morning fog, making way for the warmth of day. However, there is no warmth in the day for this child. As the sun arises in the sky and makes its way across the earth to be hidden on the western horizon, the former identity of the young child is gone, like one who has amnesia, and the new identity of the captive is the badge to be worn. The young child used to dream that a rescuer would come. Even in tears, prayers to an unknown God would arise as whispers from its lips. Nights passed in terror. Weeks passed into months, and seasons changed from spring to summer, to winter to fall, yet still a rescuer did not come. Years of negative voices, self-loathing, and shame all culminated in the idea of never being rescued. A falsehood this is, a fairy tale, something that could happen for others, possibly, maybe, but it can never happen for the child itself. Does this sound like your story? Were you once young and carefree, especially in the summer when you could wake up, the birds are singing, the sun is out, the air is starting to warm, and you're outside playing, enjoying life, enjoying your friends, but something happened in your life that changed your childhood into a nightmare. You were taken away by the enemy, by negative voices, by abuse, into a world you thought you could never escape. In this book, let me tell you stories of 3 women and a man held in this captivity. Oh, but they were pursued by the most perfect and greatest rescuer of all. Remember, my dear listener, no matter what your story is, you are worthy of His rescue. Jesus Christ, who freely laid down His life, and God who raised Him from the dead. You are worthy of this rescue, and you are pursued by God.